The police chief entered the prison and locked the cell door behind him. He flung the key forcefully to a spot he knew he could never reach, staring at the desolate scene on the screen and the cold corpse on the hillside. The chief felt utterly despondent. His colleagues who came searching sensed his thoughts and urgently tried to dissuade him from doing something foolish, but the chief still uttered those words that would be sentenced to death the moment spoken.
I want to go out.
His colleague felt profound regret upon hearing it, for in the future, human beings were forbidden to leave their dwellings. All had relocated to this subterranean city called Silo. For 100 years, no one knew who had built Silo, nor why they were there. They only knew the air outside was lethal, and no one who ventured out ever returned. Thus, any mention of leaving was strictly prohibited, or one would be expelled from Silo, due to the city's limited space. To prevent overpopulation, every woman was required to have an implant installed. Fertility rights were then granted through a monthly lottery. After countless unsuccessful draws, the sheriff and his wife finally won the right to conceive 3 years ago. His wife was permitted to have her implant removed, and given 1 year to become pregnant, unexpectedly. Though both were in perfect health, there was no sign of pregnancy for 6 months. Just as they were growing despondent, a white-haired woman approached the wife, offering her assistance. Juliette felt perplexed. Out of caution, she declined the offer. Yet, unable to resist the old woman's earnest pleas, curious Juliette decided to investigate. After bringing Juliette back to her residence, to prevent the Ministry of Justice from eavesdropping on their conversation, the old woman first turned on the faucet. Then she informed Juliette that the higher-ups would never permit a woman with her curiosity about the outside world to bear a child. However, when Sheriff learned of this from his wife, he reassured Juliette that her contraceptive device had been removed. They now shared the same chance to conceive as other approved individuals. He added that the old woman had always been mentally unstable, so her claims held no merit. Juliette was eventually persuaded by her husband. Yet days later, Juliette suddenly received an emergency repair request. Upon entering the computer repair shop in the lower levels of the silo, the owner, George, retrieved from a cabinet Juliette's thesis on recovering deleted files, which she had posted on a forum. It turned out George had accidentally acquired a hard drive from the old world. Strangely, the drive appeared empty, but when George followed the method described in Juliette's paper, he discovered most of its memory had been occupied. This indicated the stored content had likely been concealed using a special technique, the very reason George sought Juliette's help. After Juliette successfully decrypted the drive's contents, she removed her glasses in horror. The hard drive contained blueprints detailing Silo's construction. Possession of such historical artifacts constituted a serious criminal offense. Before leaving the repair shop, he warned George to destroy the hard drive completely. Yet her persistent inability to conceive prompted Juliette to recall the old woman's words. So that day, she left work early and returned to the repair shop. As she scrutinized the hard drive's contents, besides the silo blueprints, she glimpsed the world beyond the silo. Blue skies, white clouds, birds soaring overhead. This vision utterly shattered Juliette's understanding. Returning home that evening, she and her husband Sheriff discovered their fertility license had only 7 hours left. They agreed to visit the hospital the next morning for one final test. But the next day, Sheriff waited endlessly at the hospital for his wife. When he finally sensed something was wrong and rushed home, his pale-faced wife told him, "The higher-ups won't allow us to have this child, because I'm not the kind of person they permit to bear children."